Hello, friends. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, 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 hello. Coming to you live. Coming to you live here on the TikTok channel. So good to see all of you. Come on in, make yourself at home. And we're here. I'm getting ready to invite my beautiful bride, Paige Lee, to join me to provide some insight and expertise and wisdom in the areas of all things relationships. So conflict and intimacy, sex, communication, trauma-informed healing, masculine and feminine polarity. So I am waiting for my wonderful bride to come in and join me. So as you're dropping in, let us know where you're dropping in from. We love to know from all over this big, beautiful planet where you're coming from. Let us know. Let us know. And begin to drop those questions, the questions that keep you up at night about all things related to relationships. Most specifically, in the arena in which Paige and I are experts in is trauma-informed polarity healing. So identifying masculine and feminine trauma wounding, realizing the root cause behind those original trauma incidences, and beginning to release the energy that's still entrapped within your body, to realize the relationship, the life of your dreams, all of it. There she is. Here we are. We're still here. So I am waiting for Paige to come in, and I think she's sending me a text. Hopefully she'll drop in just a moment. And we'll get started. But go ahead and begin to drop those questions in, friends. Go ahead. We're having people trickle in here. Paige and I try to be here live every single week to provide you some value when it comes to relationships and sex and intimacy and communication and trauma healing and masculine and feminine polarity. So come on in and join us and let us know where you're dropping in from. And we will begin to, or say, hey, can I drop a question? Absolutely. Absolutely. Please, please, please. Someone dropping in from South Africa. I would attempt to do my best South African accent, and I'm not going to. It would dishonor you. Who am I talking to? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who am I talking to? Shishima? Is that it? Tashima? Shishimo? So I want to make sure I would love to be able to pronounce your name right, and I'm sure I am butchering it right now. So forgive me for that. But yeah, please begin to drop your questions in. Nancy is here from Tennessee. Yes, this is where Paige and I are based in our coaching practice here in the Nashville, Tennessee area. So thank you, Nancy, for letting us know where you're dropping in from. Greetings from Florida. Judy says hello, hello, hello. Hello, Erica. Hello. We see so many folks dropping in here. I'll be welcoming my beautiful bride here in just a moment. And yeah, so drop those questions in. Let us know. Let us know, what are your questions? Texas, yes. Pronounce like Te amo. Te amo? Te amo. Did I get it? All right. Hello, Kathy. Thanks for jumping in. Hello, Say Creeks. Hello, 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 hello. So I am still awaiting Paige to drop in here, and we will see. Oh, she just texted me. She is on her way. She is on her way. So please be dropping those questions. And yes, we love to see the likes and the hearts. Please let us know that you're here, where you're dropping in from all across this beautiful globe. We work, by the way, with men and women all across the planet to help them identify their masculine and feminine wounding. And the original incidences, let's see if I can speak, to identify those original incidences to begin to heal those trauma woundings that are preventing you from the relationship of your dreams, preventing you from the career of your dreams. Ultimately, the relationship with yourself is number one. Ladies and gentlemen, did you know that? Drop it in the comment. Did you know that the most important relationship you will ever engage is the relationship that you have with yourself? That is the, here we go. Let's see. There she is. Here she comes. Here comes my beautiful bride. There she is. There she is. Hey, baby. Can you hear me?
I can't see you. I
Oh, you
don't
can't see
know.
me?
Uh-uh.
Let's see. I can see you. I can see you. Can you all see me, friends? All of you that are here live, can you see me? Can you see Paige? Let us know. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I'm not sure. You can just see yourself, babe?
Yeah,
We can
I
see you both,
can.
Judy says. We can see you both. I see both. Yes. Debbie says yes.
Hmm.
Okay, so hmm, I'm not sure,
Hmm,
Sweet Pea. I
that's
don't know
so
if you want to
weird.
leave and then come back. That'd be fine. I
Well,
will
let me
hold
try
down the
that.
fort.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
be right back.
Yeah, everybody says they can see us both. So I come back in. Oh, she's going to leave and then come back. So, all right. So let's see. Yes, we can see you both. Yes, both. Great. Thank you for the feedback, friends. Yes, we see you. Let's see. Let's see. I want to make sure. Te amo. Te amo. Am I getting that right? Te amo. Te amo. Te amo. I got to remember that. Te amo says trust issues, territorial. Every relationship I get into, I tend to be unable to separate myself from. Hold on just a second. I'm going to get Paige back in here as soon as she's ready to go. So I got to keep checking here. So Te amo says, I want to make sure and get this right. Trust issues, territorial. Every relationship I get into, I tend to be unable to separate myself from them. Yes, this is what we identify as codependent wounding, which, by the way, codependent wounding is identified, how Paige and I identify it, it falls under feminine wounding, feminine energetics. Notice I didn't say female. I said feminine because we all possess, here she comes. I bet she's coming in now. Possesses, can you see me now? Yeah,
There.
you never know. Hey, sometimes we just have to turn the computer off and turn it back on. So
Sounds
good
like
to see you,
me.
baby. Yes. There is my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bride. Beautiful
Oh,
on the inside and mostly on the inside. No, all of the outside, all of the inside. She is stunning and brilliant and all the things. So I'm in the middle of answering a question, baby.
yeah.
Welcome to us. Te amo from South Africa says, trust issues, territorial, every relationship I get into, I tend to be unable to separate myself from. So I was just introducing this idea of codependency, which is, as we identify, a feminine wounding within the landscape of trauma. And I get it. I get it. So let me ask you this, Tiamo. What if you were going to frame a question around that? What's the question? What's the question? So I hear, I tend to be unable to separate myself from. What's the question? Okay, I'm going to say, well, my question is, and then we can provide some specificity for you. So we'll wait for you to come back around to you, and we're so glad that you're here. All right. Anything you want to jump in, babe, and say? As you're very cute couple you are, DK says. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
would say,
Judy.
yeah.
Judy. Judy says, my question is, colon. Don't we love that, babe?
That's
That is
usually
how
pretty
you
quick
ask
once
us
we call them
questions. Thank you so
directions.
much, Judy. Um, It's a little, baby, I will say it's a little hard to hear you. It sounds like you're far, far away. So, but Judy says, my question is, how do you stop mothering your partner in an emotional, intelligent aspect? Such a great question.
Mhm.
Mhm. How does, I'm just going to take it from the gender side of, how does a woman prevent herself from mothering her husband? That's what I'm, or partner. Is that what I'm understanding, Judy? Um, First of all, the mothering, we always project what we feel inside. Okay. So if you feel like that you are in a need to mother someone else, it's because there's an unmet need of a lack of mothering from your past. And it's also a way in which for you to feel needed because you need someone to rely upon you to give you worthiness, which is absolutely untrue. But our bodies doesn't know that. Our bodies do not know that. Our bodies, our nervous systems, the ones in which have been wounded, obviously, believe it will keep you safe if you continue to mother or take care of or nurture your husband, because then you have a place in his world. If you're not mothering him, if you're not taking care of him, then who are you? Which is a really, really important and impactful question, and one in which needs answering. And if we were working with you, this is the pathway in which we would begin to take you down to understand, okay, where is this mothering wound coming from? And by the way, the mothering, the smothering, the enabling, the controlling, perhaps, right, is a masculine wound that comes from somewhere in your past. Doesn't mean that it's from your dad. It may be from mom. It may be from a myriad of different environments from your past, from your childhood. But that is the one. We will always provide you questions to ask upon yourself. So how do you stop mothering? Begin to heal those mothering wounds. So, Paige, you got anything you want to? Oh, Judy says yes, definitely controlling. Yeah, she's like, yep, that's me. Yep, yep, that's me.
Yeah, so there's a few different, many different ways to take this. Controlling is a wounded masculine energetic, having to have control. And a lot of women find themselves in that energy of feeling like they have to control their partner, their environment, their children, their friendships, their relationships with family members, simply because they want a very specific outcome. They want everything to be perfect and happy and wonderful and look amazing. And that's one end of the spectrum. The other end of the spectrum is when we get more into that mothering, but from a wounded energetic, and that is a wounded feminine energetic, where we are constantly showing up and just over catering to and coddling and enabling the let's see, I guess that would be masculine, wounded masculine energy in them if you're showing up with that wounded feminine energy. And essentially, what happens in all of those scenarios is forms of trauma bonds. Because as we've mentioned extensively on these calls and in our programs and on our master classes and everywhere, is trauma bonds essentially are at the root of all of our relationships. And so we have to have one masculine energy and one feminine energy always, everywhere. And if there's not a masculine energy, someone will step forward, always. And by doing so, that will encourage and influence other parties to relinquish and step back into a feminine energy. And so, to answer your question of how do I stop mothering my partner, a lot of it comes down to you and understanding exactly what David was saying is what is driving the behavior, what is driving the pattern. Where have you witnessed that behavior in the past? What is it that is like at like this subconscious underlying root of a need you're trying to satiate? And then how can we begin to design a different presence for you and allow that to influence a different dynamic in the relationship? And that's really hard. That doesn't happen overnight. That doesn't happen in a week or a month. It takes work. And as you begin to relinquish control and relinquish this desire to coddle, it's changing the dynamic in the relationship. And so there's going to have to be a lot of communication and articulation of what you're feeling in your body with your partner so that the two of you can grow through these shifts together.
Hmm. Wonderfully said. Absolutely. So the constant narrative that Paige and I are bringing to the world, friends, and it's a hard one for all of us to entertain, is that it all begins with us. It all begins with yourself. It all begins with the self. Is the answer to all of your relationship complexities in your marriage, in your partnership, at work, with your children, it all begins with you. And that can be hard because we've also been trained and we've been programmed in so many ways to look outside of ourselves for the issue. That is someone else's problem, that someone else affected us in a way that now we're wounded and broken and effed up beyond anything that we can repair ourselves. And that's simply untrue. And so that's why we work with individuals. Now I work one-on-one with several couples, married couples, but I work with them independently of one another because we are only working on them. Now, what they choose to share within the relationship, within the partnership, within the marriage, they do, but we see an expedited and very efficient pathway to healing because they are both working independently within themselves and then taking what they're learning and incorporating it within the relationship, which is exactly what Paige and I do. I'm not responsible for Paige's healing, and she's not responsible for my healing. We engage in therapists and coaches and mentors, each of us individually, and sometimes that has crossover. But I'm not responsible. I'm not sitting wondering if Paige is healing. That's not driving my day. I support her healing and she supports mine, but we are completely interdependent. That's why, by the way, did you notice, friends, we're on separate screens on purpose. We are in separate spaces to be an example to all of you of what interdependence means in a co-creative, passionate, well-informed, grounded, mature, healing relationship. Okay? So, all right, Julie Ann says, how can I embrace feminine energy in the bedroom? I want to express my love for him, but stay feminine. Ugh, such a great question. Such a great question. I get this question a lot, kind of almost with a wink, like, what does polarity look like in the bedroom? The first thing I will say is, remember the masculine gives and the feminine receives. Okay? The masculine gives, the feminine receives. The masculine initiates sex and intimacy. The feminine receives. Now, that doesn't mean she doesn't have a role. It doesn't mean that she doesn't have a presence and a desire. It doesn't mean that she doesn't express how she feels, her wants and desires within the bedroom. But she does it in a feminine way. She does it in a receptive way. She does it in a flirtatious way. She does it in a surrendering way. She does it in a sensual way. She invites the masculine into her space by opening up herself and her body, her spirit, and her soul. And she can only do that when she trusts herself. And that means her own sensual and sexual healing that may be coming from past trauma wounds. So I lead and initiate the intimacy between Paige and I. And she has an absolutely powerful role within that. She receives both my physical and my emotional penetration within the sexual relationship. But we have equal roles to play. I lead, she receives. And within that, she can remain feminine. I can remain in my dominant, powerful, strong, initiating masculine energy.
Mhm.
Anything you want to add to that, baby?
I do, yeah. Like this is a big topic, and I have an entire module on this inside of my signature program, and it continues to be called the most mind-blowing module of the entire program by many of the students and women that have
Mind
gone
blowing.
through it.
I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so if you're looking, anytime you're looking for more connection with someone, you first have to understand where you're feeling disconnection and what that disconnection is feeling to you. And what you do want out of the relationship and how you do want it to feel, because so often, especially when it comes to the very tender exchanges in the bedroom and talking about intimacy, that's very vulnerable. And so often there are past traumas that are in the way, whether you realize it's trauma or not. It's trauma that's stuck in the body that is preventing the nervous system from feeling safe in those situations with your partner who you're supposed to trust and love so deeply. And so that's where we get into trauma healing. And by doing so, that allows you to soften even deeper into your feminine energy and feeling authentic to do so. It's not just like what's the word that people use? Submit. It's not just like a submission where you're just rolling over and it's passive and you're just kind of there as presence. It's not that at all. Surrender is the name of my program, and it is this powerful way of being and this connection that you have with your feminine body, and it's rooted in healing. It's rooted in acceptance and love and trust and building safety in your body. And so you first have to understand the foundation of what all of that means to you. So then you can begin to explore deeper healing, sensual and sexual healing that you can then take into the bedroom with your partner. So this opens up a gigantic can of worms. And if this is the phase of healing that you're in right now, then I would highly encourage you to check out the free training that is in the link on both David's TikTok and my TikTok. That training will give you a taste of how I work and teach with my clients, my women clients. And also that will lead you directly into this program that I lead to women to help them through things just like this.
Yeah. So beautifully said, babe. Again, it goes back to the theme. Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? It goes back to you. How do you heal what's going on outside of you? You heal within you. Right? And that's exactly what Paige explores in her program, in all of our teachings, in all of our programs, in all of our content, in my one-on-one coaching with both men and women, is it begins with you. And that, I will say this. I am very familiar with the surrender program. I'm very familiar, obviously, with Paige's program. And this module is mind-blowing, and it's body-blowing, if you get my meaning. But Paige takes you through some very, very tender areas and provides you the safety and security to explore your body, ladies. Because if you don't know what you desire, if you don't know what wounds are there in which to heal for yourself in a sensual way in the bedroom from a sexual past that you may find shame in, then it's very difficult to completely open and surrender unto a masculine partner. So again, I echo what Paige just says. If Julianne, if you're specifically interested in finding out more about how we provide that support, how Paige specifically provides that support, jump on our TikTok links and find out some more. So great question. Thank you, Julianne, for being here. Misty says, hi, how do you detach your emotions going through a divorce from an abusive relationship? The first thing will say, Misty, is you never ever detach from your emotions. That's the issue. That's why so many women on the planet struggle with navigating dysregulation in relationships because they've been told that they are supposed to detach from their emotions. They're supposed to get over it. They're supposed to be a big girl. They're supposed to leave it behind. They're supposed to get over a man. All of that is misinformed and mythical to what we teach and coach. In fact, we do the opposite. We go into and through the emotions. We want you to understand what those emotions are and to truly feel them. What you haven't been taught, what everyone hasn't been taught in so many ways, is how to truly embrace and know what emotions are and how they should be resonating through your body, how they should be resonating through your somatic system. We've been told to shut it off, both men and women. We've been told that emotions are wrong. Ladies, you've probably been told that you're too much, that you're over emotional, that you're crazy, that your emotions are keeping you from who you want to be. That's simply BS. It simply is. And what we help our clients specifically through Surrender's program, through Paige's program, and then through my one-on-one coaching, is we want women to step back into their emotion, to truly feel everything about what is going on in the completion of your relationship, Misty. And what I will say there too is I will echo Glennon Doyle's phraseology. Okay, your relationship isn't a failure. It simply came to a completion. And so now is the time to learn. And all part of our programs and our coaching and our teaching is all about helping you learn the lessons and not simply fixating on the losses. So we want you to be strong and be confident in knowing that your emotions are absolutely valid, absolutely true. And we can help you navigate what those emotions are and actually begin to identify them. So many women come to us and they say, so I will ask them questions, Paige will ask them questions. How do you feel? And they'll say, bad, sad, maybe angry, which by the way, so many women have been told not to ever feel anger. That's bullshit too. Right? You must feel rage, ladies. You must feel it to move through it. Okay. So that's why it's emotion. Motion. We're moving through the emotion. So it's so imperative to begin to find the support. If it's not Paige and I, find someone in a professional healing space that can help you navigate and identify those healing wounds.
Mhm. Yeah. Moving through a divorce is a really, really, really big transition physically, but also emotionally. There is a lot to process in the completion of that relationship, and a lot of emotions need to come forward. The reason why they're coming forward and you don't want to feel them, well, they're trying to get your attention. And the reason why it's so important to process emotions and feel them is because if not, they get stuck in your body. And that might be hard to understand, but they quite literally imprint the nervous system and begin to close your heart off and your body off and your spirit off to receiving what you truly want to receive in a loving partner moving forward. And so that's where women begin to migrate from the feelings of her body into just flipping this logical switch in her mind, just trying to change her mind to get through whatever it is that she's trying to work through in that particular phase of life. So rather than trying to detach from emotions, you are so encouraged to figure out how to lean into those emotions and begin to process them as you're experiencing them right now, because we as humans have this buildup of unprocessed emotions that are living in the body, and that is what is weighing us down. That's where this feeling of emotional heaviness comes from. And so it's our work to go back and process those layers of emotions that are living within, while also simultaneously doing our best to process the emotions that are coming up for us on the daily, every single day. So that's where you're going to feel more freedom and peace in your body. That's where you're going to open yourself up in your feminine energy to feel safe and trusting of the next amazing, beautiful partnership in the form of a marriage, if you so choose. So
Mm.
yes, that is exactly how we work with our clients. And yeah, don't lean out, lean into those emotions. They're there for a reason.
Hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're taking notes because what was just dropped there by my wife was absolute gold. So make sure that you're taking notes. Make sure that you're jumping into our very easy steps into our programming and free webinars and whatnot, which by the way, I wanted to promote a week from this coming Monday. Paige and I will be hosting our monthly masterclass. It's on August 21st. It's a Monday night from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Central here in the States. So you can go and register for that right now through both of our links on TikTok. So you can interact with us live, bring these questions live, and we can actually provide some back and forth coaching and provide you some additional wisdoms because we can have that actual interaction. And it also gives you a taste of how we work with our clients in specific ways. How I work with my clients one-on-one, how Paige works with so many women across the planet through her surrendered programs. So good. So always Queen 19. Um, always Queen 19. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to invite you to form whatever you want to say and ask us through a question. My question is, because she says he's been masculine for last year in relationship, great. Now he is unsure he wants the relationship. So if you can, always Queen 19, formulate what's the question? What would you like to ask us based on your statement? And we're happy to provide some perspective. All right. Let's see. More questions. Let's see. Oh, here's a question from Always Queen. Listen to it. What happens when he stops engaging and initiates? What happens when he stops engaging and stops initiating is what I'm gathering is the question. So what happens? That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. I think maybe you're asking, what should you be doing? Right? Perhaps how should you be responding? And again, what I will say, the feminine feels. The feminine leads herself through her emotions. She is grounded in her emotions and she takes action based on her intuition, on what she feels inside of her body, on what her next step is. And then she goes into her healing masculine energy to make those decisions. So what you're feeling, always Queen 19, what you're feeling right now, you know it's intuitively inside your body. If you're feeling like there's a detachment, if you're feeling like there's some abandonment, if you're feeling like there's dysregulation and there's some fear of being alone, whatever the feelings are, you have absolute autonomy and choice on whether or not you remain within this relationship, how you remain within this relationship, and how you navigate yourself moving forward.
Mhm.
Okay?
I think there are two options, just like as David was mentioning here, is when you said what happens. Well, there's two choices for you to take. You get to have the choice to either step forward into the masculine energy and begin to start leading and taking control and moving attempting to move the relationship in the direction in which you want it to go, which usually doesn't work out, by the way. And it's where a lot of women find themselves. I have been there many years. And then the other choice, option number two, is for you to remain grounded in your feminine energy and your feminine expression, the feelings that you're experiencing in your body, and articulate that to your partner. Hey, I've been feeling pretty disconnected from you lately. Is everything okay? This relationship is really important to me and important to us, and I want to ensure that I feel connected to you. And I want to make sure everything's all right. But you first have to identify what it is you're feeling in your body. As David mentioned, are you feeling abandoned? Are you feeling left behind? Are you feeling whatever? Fill in the blank. That's your work to do. This is not I can't tell you how you feel. That's why healing work is so hard and so important, because it's so individualized. I can lead you. David can lead you, but ultimately it is your work to turn inward and connect to what you are feeling in your body, and then be able to articulate that out to your partner to influence the dynamic of the relationship. So you have to understand how this shift in the relationship is making you feel, and then ground into your feminine energy as you begin to communicate that to your partner and open dialogue to how the two of you can bring some restoration to the relationship.
Mm-hmm. So good. So good. All right, moving on. Casey. Casey has another statement. I will invite you, Casey, to formulate a question for us. My question is, okay, we're more than happy to address it at that point. Okay, let's see. Some more questions. Let's see. So I see Katie. So again, formulate these questions, my friends. Okay, my question is, all right? So that, and by the way, it is an elevated skill and an elevated gift in which to formulate really powerful questions for yourself, and that's what we provide our clients as a bonus is help them, because so often we make statements, so often we expel, and yet we really want answers, or we want some guidance, we want some direction, and yet we don't know how to formulate that. And it's a skill, and that is a bonus in which we teach our clients. So formulate those questions. All right. Angie says, what kind of things can I do in the day-to-day to stay in my feminine? Mhm. First thing I'll say is make yourself the priority. I saw something today, and then I added on to, I collaborated with another thought leader on Instagram today, and the actually it was Brad Lea, which I get a lot of questions like, are you related to Brad Lea? If you know Brad Lea out in the influencer world, we are not related, but Brad's got some good stuff going on, and he was saying that in essence a high value masculine man is interested in a woman who knows herself, who is confident in herself, who takes care of her, who values herself, who has a great deal of self-respect for who she is. That is what. That's why I choose Paige, because she's actively working on herself, and she values herself more and more every single day. When I said my vows to her in our wedding ceremony, I said, I choose you because you choose yourself first. So that is an overall blanket statement, ladies, for all of you. How do you begin to understand and relax and surrender into your feminine energy? Take care of you. You've got
Mhm.
to take care of you and dispel the idea of the narrative that says that's selfish. It's not. In fact, that's what Paige preaches all over her surrender program is it's all about you, ladies. We had someone recently jump into your surrender program, babe, and I received a question before she did so, where it's like, oh, so does my husband need to be here and there before me? I do this and that and the other. And I said, absolutely not. This is your individual journey. You must be taking care of yourself first, which is can be so counterintuitive to who you are and what you've believed and how you have lived. But you absolutely must put yourself first, not your children, not your husband, not your prospective partner, not your job. You must put yourself first.
Mhm. As a little asterisk, asterisk, asterisk,
Asterisk.
asterisk on that.
I know it's hard.
Um, Most women attempt to be in their feminine energy and take care of themselves in a very general way. And that's fantastic. That's a great place to start. And the work is to refine it down a little bit. So if you're taking care of yourselves with bubble baths and manicures and getting massages, but those actually don't really feel like they're keeping you in your feminine energy, it feels more like a check mark, then we might be exploring the idea that maybe those things aren't super restorative, as restorative to the feminine energy as other activities yet to be explored are for you. And so that's what the work is all about, beginning to refine the relationship that you have with you and understanding which exercises and activities and ways of being feel like they are the most aligned for you, rather than just choosing random self-care days to put out your emotional fires that maybe work and maybe don't really work. Instead, let's create a support system that feels like it's actually supportive to you and your spirit, and actually feels like it's giving you nice little grounded touches of fresh air and peace and love, and connecting you back to that feminine energy. That's the work we do inside my program.
Exactly. Yeah. And let me say this to ladies specifically for you that may have some interest in finding out more about Surrender, Paige's signature program. And by the way, the title of the program is Surrender. Oh my gosh, I just lost the title of it. Oh,
Becoming one
becoming
with the
one
feminine
with the
body.
feminine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Becoming one with the feminine body. See, this is, yeah. So it's becoming one with the feminine body. That is your number one priority, ladies, is becoming
Mhm.
one with your feminine body. And
Mhm.
when I say body, the physical body, the emotional body, the spiritual body, the sexual body, all of it. And so if you're interested in knowing that more, or if you're interested in getting to know us a little bit more, you can join us Monday, August 21st for a live masterclass that Paige and I will both be on to provide some more impactful insight and information and wisdom and answer your questions live. So you can register for that, by clicking on our bio link. So I hope you all join us there. Okay. All right. Katie says, my concern is my unhealed trauma. I like that, Katie. I like that. You're trying to circumvent the question to ask, but I think I can probably mine a question out of this. Katie says, and God bless you, Katie. Thank you so much for being here. Katie says, my concern is my unhealed trauma is affecting my professional life. It drives me crazy. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Katie, what I consistently bring to my clients, our clients, is how you do one thing is how you do everything. I have a client right now who is struggling in a relationship because of some infidelity. And I recently heard from her and she said, I want him minus the infidelity. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. Okay. So we have to navigate the understanding first within ourselves that we bring who we are to all aspects of life. There is no such thing as professional or personal life. It's your life. Now, we have trauma wounding that allows us to put masks on to protect ourselves in the professional sphere. So often we are one person at work and we are another person at home. And then we're another person in social circles. Then we're another person in front of our kids. Then we're another person in front of our parents. And what I will say is all of that is trauma wounding, unprocessed, unhealed trauma wounding that's preventing you from being your authentic self in all spheres of life. So I don't blame you for expressing, Katie, that it drives you crazy. Of course it does. Because imagine, and you know this to be true, but this is for everyone else watching. Imagine the exhaustion that Katie feels. Imagine the exhaustion that I have felt, that Paige has felt in managing multiple personalities that you
Mhm.
have to turn on or turn off depending on the environment. That takes an enormous amount of emotional expense to maintain. In essence, what you're doing is you're lying. Let's just call it what it is. You're lying first to yourself and to everyone around you. So we often say this is, do you know who you are? Do you know your true self? Because again, layer upon layer of trauma has prevented you from realizing truly who you are. We have so many of our clients come to us and navigating, and as they're working with us, they will come to a very powerful, vulnerable space to say, David, Paige, I don't know who I am.
Mhm.
And that is an incredibly powerful, vulnerable space, and it can be incredibly scary. We have people in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s who are like, I don't know who I am. What we will say is, you're in the right space. So Paige and I work incredibly hard to provide safety and security and environments of our coaching and teaching and speaking when we're working with our clients to ensure that you feel safe and secure, to be able to go to those vulnerable spaces, to really, truly begin to heal, to understand who you are.
Mhm.
Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? What was that, babe?
Yeah.
What was that? What was that?
It's just powerful to hear, and I spent many years of my life not knowing who I am, and I learn more about who I am every single day, and I will continue for the rest of my life, but I know more now than I've ever known before. And so that's really all we can ask for and work towards is to continue to know ourselves at deeper depths. And as you meant, yeah, it's just, it feels like such a validating moment for me and for many of the other women in our programs that all feel like they have no idea who they are, and to know that that's okay and they're in the right place and we're going to figure this out together.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, now I'm having that same feeling like, did y'all feel that? Did y'all feel like that I felt it when you heard Paige say we're going to figure this out together? One of the most pronounced and powerful things that I can say to my feminine partner, she's right there, my wife Paige, is I've got you.
Mm.
We've got this. Did you see her respond just then? I've got you. I've got us. I've got a plan. We're going to do this together. We're going to figure it out. Nothing's too much. Hmm.
Yeah.
That's masculine energy leading feminine energy. because that's what the feminine energy craves, is a plan, a plot, decisiveness. Because she, in her true radiant feminine energy, is so tired of making decisions because she steps into her masculine energy to make those necessary decisions. But she craves the masculine power within me to step forward to make those decisions, to say, I've got it, I've got us, no problem. The house is locked. I'm protecting you. I'm providing for you. The bills are getting paid. Okay, so, all right. Shoshana says, my question is, why does he seem to be upset by me leading in my feminine with happiness? I'm not sure I have all the information that I would need to provide some insight in that, other than if someone is upset with you, that's on them. You can't make someone feel anything. Ladies and gentlemen, did you hear me? Okay, take a pause, let that sink in. You can't make anyone feel or do anything. And that should and can provide you an enormous amount of centering and grounding and freedom to know that everyone else is responsible for their response to you. You're not responsible for catering to everyone else's needs and how they respond to you. Again, how much energy is lost when we try to manage the expectations of someone else, which is such a grounding force in all of our teaching and coaching, is we want our clients to truly understand that they are an autonomous, interdependent self, and that how they interact in the world has nothing to do with how someone else is interacting in the world, including your spouse, including your children. Okay. So if someone is upset with your happiness, that's on them. And again, you have a choice to remain in that environment. So you have a choice. Everyone has a choice, friends. Everyone, all of us have choices to make. We're not chained. We're not attached. Okay? Too often, we make excuses. We do. Let's just cut the crap. We make excuses to say, well, I need to stay. I need to be here. I need to put up with it. No, you don't. No, you don't. Okay, those are parts of you that feel connected and dysregulatingly attached to someone else's understanding of who you are. I'm going to stop talking for a second. You have anything to add to that, baby?
Yeah, like you, I think I need a little more clarification on that because it said leading in the feminine energy with
Yeah.
happiness, and I just have a bunch of question marks. And so,
Yeah.
any sort of elaborations that you can provide for that would be fantastic. And David, what you provided was really, really sound.
Thank you, baby.
Is that we aren't responsible for anyone else's responses. And honestly, one of the best things that you can do in response to his dysregulation is just ask some questions. Ask
Mm,
questions, be curious, lean in with compassion and receptivity and openness just to understand a little bit more about what's causing dysregulation in him without taking it on for yourself.
mm,
So that would be a really nice step one.
yeah. Often we are subjected to our own fear of what the answer to the questions we ask. So we don't ask questions. So we don't seek clarification because we're afraid of what the answer may be. So if we say, so do you really want to be in this partnership? Do you still really want to be in this marriage? We're afraid of what the answer may be. But it's not until we get to the heart. And the only way that you're going to get to the heart of who someone else is to ask questions. Paige and I ask each other questions all the time. Paige is probably the number one question asker on the planet. We go to restaurants. We go to out and about. We go everywhere in every environment. She's asking questions. And I'm so inspired by that because she wants clarity. She's seeking understanding. That is a beautiful, beautiful skill. So hats off to you, my babe. All right. V says, is it okay to reach out to him if I haven't heard from him in a week? We've dated and talked for a couple of months. Hmm. So I'm gonna default back to, remember, the masculine initiates. Wow, the masculine leads and initiates, and that doesn't mean that your emotion and your desires and wants aren't stifled. Okay, so if you choose to express how you feel to him, absolutely move forward. But too often women will direct and try to control the communication process. Well, I haven't heard from him. My blanket wisdom to you is there's a reason why you haven't heard from him. And it has nothing to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
Has everything to do with him. Ladies, I will say this over and over. Healing, deeply wounded, whatever the status of a man, wherever he is on the inner healing journey, he will make a priority a priority. If he's not making you a priority, that's on him. And again, it has nothing to do with who you are. You don't have to work harder to get his attention.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to get his attention, ladies. I don't care if you're married to him or you're dating him or you're talking to him, whatever the case may be. Stop pining for his attention. The man you crave, whether it's your husband or a man of your future, the man you crave does not ever want to be baited. Ever. We do not want to be baited. We don't need you to control the outcome. If he's not present for you, if he's not showing up, if he's not prioritizing you, if he's not communicating with you, there's your answer.
Bingo.
Yeah. All right. Let's take one more. Take
Sounds
one
good.
more, babe. Yeah? Okay. All right. Shannon says, single mom of four. How can I attract healthy masculine men when I am in my masculine a lot? Yeah, Shannon, thank you so much for being here. I receive this question so often, specifically on TikTok and all the, yeah, Paige is laughing because she knows. Um,
So you're not
because,
alone in that sense.
yeah, she's not alone. You are not alone, Shannon, whatsoever. And if, by the way, if there are folks on this live right now who can resonate with Shannon, and by the way, there may be women on right now or watching this later who have been married with four kids that feel alone, that you are trying to attract the healthy masculine within your husband. That may be you, and you're the space in which we're wanting to answer this question too. So it relates back to what we said at the top of our call when we were asking some questions about how does a woman remain or begin to soften into her surrendering feminine energy, is you have to take care of you. And I'll also point out, Shannon, that how you introduced yourself with this question is single mom of four. You are not a single mom of four. You are a woman first. Actually, you're a human first. And then if you identify as your core energy being feminine, then you're a feminine woman first. Being a mom is a role that you play. When you begin to tweak that language and truly embody that understanding of who you are, that will begin to shift you just slightly. Like, wait, I'm a woman first. I'm a radiant, sensual, flirtatious, beautiful, brilliant woman. And I happen to have a role as a mom. That will begin to center you and say, wait, I do come first. I do come first. I do come first. The masculine man out there who is pursuing you, you may not even know it, is pursuing you, will be attracted again to a woman who is confident in her feminine energy and who is caring for herself, puts herself first, is not pining or searching or craving or finding a man, that you are simply taking care of you first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's the greatest example you can set for your children. I don't know
Oh,
if you have boys or girls, but showing either of them, all of them, how you are choosing to prioritize yourself and care for yourself is the best gift and best gift of mentorship that you can give to them, because they are seeing mom take care of mom. And the if you have boys, I don't know if you do, but they will see that that's what a feminine woman looks like. And for the daughters, it's an incredible example of how they can grow up and take care of themselves and prioritize their needs too. And so all of it just has this nice ripple effect throughout the entire family system. And as you begin to feel more comfortable in your body and caring for you and what feels best for you, that is what is going to attract a more masculine partner to polarize with your feminine energy.
Hmm. So well said, babe. So well said. So we're going to honor the decisiveness of what we said. Oh, we'll take one more, even though there's probably 17 more questions that are ahead of us. What I will say to all of you is please bring those questions to our event, our live event on August 21st, which is a week from this coming Monday, from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Central here in the States. You can register for that free event on our TikTok channel or go to our Instagram, go to our YouTube, go to our Facebook, find all those social media channels. You can also sign up on our website, which, write this down, is daring-deeply.com. I'll say it again, daring-deeply.com. Go and find out more about us and see if it feels like a good fit to continue your healing journey with us. Because we understand that this is deep, powerful work and it requires safety and security with healing professionals with whom you trust. And we certainly want to be those folks in your life, but come and find us. It takes some time and that's okay. So you can come and join us live and bring those questions that you're dropping here, and we will get to those one at a time on Monday, August 21st from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Central here in the States. Additionally, ladies, this message is for you. If you're interested in diving deeper into healing your feminine energy, becoming one with your feminine body, truly embodying the healing energies in which to radiate from your true self, is go and sign up for our free webinar that Paige is leading. It's a pre-recorded, on-demand webinar that you can sign up for. You can watch at your leisure, and then that will lead you to understanding and getting more information about our surrender, our signature program called Surrender, Becoming One with the Feminine Body. And so we hope that you continue to follow, continue to join us, continue to find out more about what we're doing and what we're bringing to the world. Ultimately, we're here to help you heal to realize your true self. That's ultimately what we're doing. So thank you so much for being here. We so appreciate you. Nancy says enjoyed your session today. Thank you, Nancy. We appreciate you being here. And on behalf of Paige Stewart Lee, that's her right there, my wife, my partner in business and life and the whole thing. Thank you for being here. We encourage you to continue to follow us on all the socials, especially here on TikTok. Share us. If this has been impactful for you, share it with your friends. Share it with your frenemies. Share it with everyone. And we hope to see you on the 21st. Go and register for that event. And ladies, go register for that free webinar that Paige is leading. And anything else you want to add, babe?
Thanks for being here. We'll see you next
Absolutely.
time.
All right. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.
Bye.